Hello and welcome to this lecture in marketing management. In this lecture, we are going to talk about pricing strategies, and because there are so many pricing strategies, so this lecture has been divided into two parts. So, we are covering the part 1 of pricing strategies, wherein we are going to discuss the concept of pricing as well as we are going to look into some pricing strategies also. So, in the slides to come, I will take you through the concepts of pricing and pricing strategies and give you some relevant examples through which we will try to understand the concepts. So, let me just change the slide and begin the lecture. So, we have talked about price and pricing. So, to give a quick recap, let me define price and let me also define pricing once again, and then we will come to the current slide. In the last slide, we talked about price. Now, price was the amount of money which the consumer was willing to pay in order to acquire the product or the service. So, price was about the amount of money that the company fixes and the consumers pays in order to take that product or the service. Pricing was the process of deciding the price. So, pricing is the pricing through which the prices are decided, and we had also discussed that pricing was a complex process. It was not easy. Pricing involved market research, pricing involved consumer interaction, pricing involved complex calculations, and only after this a company is able to decide the price of the product. Now, here it is also mentioned, the first point says that setting prices of products can be tough. So, it is absolutely not easy, because a lot many things go into fixing of price. A company also has to consider the external environment, a company has to consider the internal environment, its competitors, its own production facilities, the costs which are coming in the production of the product, and so many other factors which we had covered in the last lecture. So, if the firm, so there are actually two issues. So, if the firm or the company sets a price which is very high, then it will lose out valuable sales, because the consumers will always go to the competitors and purchase their product which are at lower prices. While if the opposite happens, if the firm sets them too low, it will miss out on valuable revenue. So, if the prices are decided as too high, the consumers will leave that company and they will go and purchase the products of the competitors. While if the price is set too low, then revenues will not come. Although people will purchase, but company will not be able to generate sufficient revenue, and it will not be able to stay afloat and function properly. So, that will also become very problematic for the company. So, therefore, what is the right level? The right level is that the price of a product or a service should be optimum. So, this optimum price will not only permit that company or the organization to stay afloat, but in the longer run it will also make sustainable profits and will make sustainable profits and will run and function smoothly. So, what are the various pricing strategies? So, before coming to various pricing strategies, let us talk about what exactly we mean by pricing strategy. Now, here the word strategy is introduced, and it is a model or a method, or we can say it is a plan to establish the best price of a product or service. How to define the best price? The best price is the price which is acceptable to producer as well as consumer. So, pricing strategy basically means a plan, or it is a model to fix the price of a product or a service, and it should select the best price. Now, the best price is the one which is acceptable to the producer or the manufacturer as well as to the consumer. Acceptable to the producer or the manufacturer, because the producer or the manufacturer will make sustainable profits at that price. Acceptable to the consumer, because consumer will not feel cheated. Consumers will feel that the perceived value of the product is equal to the price, and therefore, the consumer will be willing to pay the price for that product or service. So, price should be such that it is acceptable to both the producer as well as the consumer. And pricing strategy helps the firm to choose prices to maximize profits. Now, this is the whole sole aim of the company. Company wants to maximize profits. So, in order to maximize profits, it has to select such a price wherein the profits also gets maximized and the shareholder value also gets maximized. So, without going into deep detail of shareholder value, let me simplify it, that there are various shareholders of a company and the company is actually indebted to them. These are the owners of the company. So, the company has an obligation towards the shareholders. It has to give dividend, it has to give some profit to the shareholders also. So, the profit should be such that the company is able to maximize the profits from the prices as well as it is able to satisfy the shareholders and give them some part of the profits called dividend. So, the shareholder value as well as the profit should be maximized and such should be the price. So, this slide is actually talking about pricing strategy as a model or a method of price fixation. Now, moving to the next slide. So, there are different types of pricing strategies and the question that arises here is that why there are so many types of pricing strategies. So, the answer lies in these points. Now, pricing strategy takes into account many of the business factors. So, while deciding the prices, while fixing the prices, while following the pricing strategy, so many factors are taken into account, like what are the revenue goals, like how much revenue is the organization willing to achieve, what are the marketing objectives, is the consumer, is the company only willing to create an awareness or is the company willing to maximize market share or is the company willing to beat competition. So, like this there can be various objectives of marketing and depending on the objective the pricing strategy will alter. So, for a particular marketing objective there is a particular pricing strategy which is suitable. So, depending on the marketing objective the company will choose the pricing strategy and pricing strategy will also depend on revenue goals. Then the kind of target market. Target market means again we talk about social class. So, your consumers of any company they fall either in the lower class or in the middle class or in the upper class or the high income group. So, if the product of the company is expensive then people of the higher income group can purchase it. If the prices of the product of the company are moderate then middle income group can purchase it and if the prices are very low then lower income group can also purchase it. So, your target market also matters here. Brand positioning and product attributes. Product attributes means the various features of the products, the technology, etc. So, this is another important factor which helps in determining the prices and the prices are also influenced by the external factors like consumer demand, competitor pricing and overall market and economic trends. So, there are so many external factors and so many internal factors which together determine the price of a product and these things are varying from company to company. So, every company has its own revenue goals, every company has its own marketing objectives, every company has a particular target market, every company does positioning and has got different product attributes and even the external factors vary from company to company. So, a particular set of external factor is affecting one organization. Now, the same set of external factors might not impact that some other organization. So, therefore, it is a very complex thing and keeping into mind all these points together, we can say that there are different pricing strategies depending according to the change in these factors. So, whenever one or more factors change or whenever a set of factors change, there is a new pricing strategy in place. Now, let us come to the slide and talk about some pricing strategies here. Now, the types of pricing strategies that we are covering in this lecture are value based pricing, then it is cost based pricing, or we also call it cost plus pricing, then competition based pricing, and then we are covering market based pricing, and last but not the least we are covering bundle pricing here. Now, let me come to each of these pricing strategies, and one by one through an example we are going to look into what each of these actually mean. So, in the first slide we are going to talk about value based pricing. Now, let us understand what value means. The value means the perceived importance of a product, and value has some importance in the eyes of the consumer. So, value is actually the perceived importance of the product in the eyes of the consumer. Value based pricing says that a firm or a company, if it is following this pricing strategy, then it fixes the price of the product which is equal to what the consumer is willing to pay. So, in simple words, the price of the product or the service will be equal to the amount of money that the consumer is willing to pay. So, if the consumer is willing to pay a higher amount of money, the company will charge a higher amount of money. If the consumer is not willing to pay a higher amount of money, then the company will not charge a higher amount of money, given that the prices cover at least the costs which are borne by the company. So, there is a flip side of this strategy. The flip side is that the company has to be constantly in tune with the consumers. So, the demand of the consumers has to be constantly tracked. A lot of marketing research happens, and the company has to be in tune with the consumers. Now, if this strategy is correctly followed, if this strategy is accurately and smartly followed, then this will maximize the current profits of the company. When there is a seasonal change in demand, and when the demand rises, the company can increase the prices and get larger revenue and higher profits. When the demand falls, the company can give discounts, or company can lower down the price, and even then company can get substantial revenue. So, there has to be a track, there has to be a check on the demand that is coming from the consumer side, and that check or that tracking has to be done constantly. So, only those organizations which are in constant touch with their consumers or have good consumer research, they can follow this kind of strategy, and this strategy guarantees to maximize the current profits. So, as an example, we can say that there is value based pricing in case of all the products which are seasonal, and the demand of the product is seasonal. So, in case of any product or service, the demand of which is seasonal, we can say we can see the value based pricing happening. So, that is one important aspect. Next, we come to another strategy which is called cost based pricing. Now, a cost based pricing or a cost plus pricing, it focuses solely on the cost of the producing the product or service. Now, as we know that the total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Now, variable costs are the costs which are changing with the factor of production, while the fixed costs are the costs which are remaining fixed with time. So, here the company has to track its total cost, and upon the total cost the company charges a markup. Now, let us understand what markup means. So, in the second point it is written that it is also known as the markup pricing, since business who use this strategy mark up their products based on how much they would like to profit. So, let us say my fixed cost is rupees 100 and my variable cost is rupees 120. So, the total cost of production will be 100 plus 120, that will be 220, and suppose I want to make a profit of rupees 30. So, I will increase this rupees 220 by 30 rupees, and the total price of the product will become 250 rupees. So 30 rupees will be called as the markup, because this is the amount which is over and above the costs, and I am willing to take this amount as the profit. I am willing to take this amount as an additional amount for making the product. So one similar example is written here, and this example is the example of shoes, that is footwear. So the shoes are costing $25 to make. So this is the total manufacturing cost, and this total manufacturing cost actually includes the fixed cost as well as the variable cost, and over and above this the firm wants to make a profit of $25. So $25 is the total manufacturing cost or total production cost, and over and above the firm wants to make a profit of $25. So therefore they have set a markup. So the total price of that pair of shoe will be equal to $25 plus $25, that is $50, which is a markup of 100%. Markup of 100% means the total cost involved was 25%, $25. 100% of $25 is $25, and which was added to this cost as a markup, and therefore the total price became $50. So this is how we define the markup pricing, or what we call the cost based pricing, in which nothing else but the total cost of production is taken into account. Now next we are talking about competition based pricing. So let me just read out the first point. Competition based pricing is also known as the competitive pricing or competitor based pricing. It does not take into account the cost of their product or consumer demand. So when we were talking about value based pricing, we were talking about the consumer's demand, and we were saying that organization has to track the consumer's demand, and when the consumer demand goes up, the price goes up, and when the consumer demand comes down, the price comes down. So the organization has to constantly follow consumer's demand. Then we move on to the next one, that was the cost based pricing. In the cost based pricing, we said that the company has got nothing to worry about, except the company only has to look into the total cost, and it has to then look into the total cost and charge a money over and above this total cost. Now when we are talking about this competition based pricing is all about looking into what the competitor is doing. It has nothing to do with the cost, it has nothing to do with the consumer demand. So a company is not worried about what cost it is bearing, and the company is also not worried about what the consumer is doing. The only thing it is worried about is what the competitors are doing. So in the next point it is written that competition based pricing strategy uses the competitors' prices as the benchmark. So here the competitors' prices are the benchmark, and what the competitors do, the company follows that. So whatever the competitors are doing, the company is following, and businesses who compete in a highly saturated space may choose this kind of a strategy. Now let me explain it through an example. Let us talk about aviation industry, or let us talk about the telecom industry. Now both are classic examples of oligopolies. Oligopolies are markets in which there are few players and there are a large number of consumers, and in oligopolies there is a market leader who is called the price leader, and the price leader is the company that will set the price and other companies will follow. So when we are talking about an oligopoly, we can take the example of telecom industry. Now in 2016 in telecom industry, the 4G services came in the market, and the company that brought 4G services was Jio, and then everybody started using it, and all the consumers then flocked to Jio, and they also started using 4G services at a cheaper price. So Jio became the market leader, and other companies then gradually also started the 4G operations, but they were the followers. So here the other company which entered the market later were actually following Jio, and they were looking at Jio as their main competitor and a threat to their business. So whatever pricing strategy Jio adopted, the competitors of Jio also adopted the same strategy. So such things are very normally seen in oligopoly markets. We can also observe such phenomena in the aviation sector, where if one airline company gives discount, the other airline companies also start giving discounts. So, the pricing is actually done by following your competitors rather than giving much importance to consumers or rather than thinking about the costs. And this kind of a pricing is also seen in the markets where there is a lot of saturation. So, if there is very intense competition, if there are extremely cutthroat competition and there are large number of consumers and there are a large number of producers and they are trying to capture consumers from each other, then also this kind of a pricing strategy is followed, which is based on competition. So, the main points of competition based strategy is that competitors' strategies are followed while the cost of the product or the consumer demand are not taken into account for a while. So, this is about competition based pricing. Now, let us move to the next slide and see the next strategy. The next strategy talks about the market based pricing, and in the market based pricing actually the prices differ from market to market. So, I can also call it geographically based pricing or the pricing which is based on location. So, let me read out the first point. The first point says that market based pricing is when products or services are priced differently depending on geographical locations or markets. So, I can give some example that suppose there is a product which is being sold in country A and the same product is sold in country B. Now, in country A the taxes on the product are very high, while in country B the taxes on the product are relatively low. So, we will observe that the price of the product in country A will be higher, while the price of the same product in country B will be lower. So, therefore, the same product will be differently priced in the two countries. We also observe this phenomena when a product is sold in different spaces, such as when a product is sold in the offline space and when the same product is sold in the offline online space. So, it is generally seen that when the product is sold in the online space or over a website or an app, then the consumers are charged lesser price, and when the same product is sold in the offline space or on a retail store, the prices of the product go up. So, this is an example of market based pricing where different locations or different markets the product is charged differently. So, let me read out the second point and try to understand what this actually means. So, this strategy may be useful if a consumer from another country is making a purchase or if there are disparities in factors like the economy or the wages. Differences in the price in the offline online market can also be taken as example. So, suppose there is a product, let us say a product, conspicuous consumption product such as gold and these diamonds. So, because in South Africa the gold and the diamond is available in large quantity and there are gold mines and diamond mines. So, gold and diamond are available at a lower price and in such African countries as compared to India, where these are brought from Africa and then sold. So, the same gold which will cost some X amount of rupees in India, it will cost a lower, it will actually be charged a lower price in Africa. So, this is a market based pricing. This is an example of market based pricing. Moving on to the next strategy of pricing. Here we talk about the bundle pricing. Now, let me explain what bundle pricing is. So, we can read out the first point. A bundle pricing strategy is when the firm offers or bundle two or more products together. So, in this two or more complementary products or services are merged together and a packet or a bundle is formed or a combination is formed, and then the company is interested in selling this bundle or the company is selling this kind of a package. So, this is called bundle pricing. So, for example, let us say for the same brand one soap and one cream and one more product, product A, product B, product C. So, product A is, let us say, priced at rupees 20, the product B is priced at rupees 30 and product C is priced at rupees 20. So, 20, 30 and 20 will make rupees 70. So, when the bundle of these products is formed, so that in that bundle these are the three products. Now, the bundle is priced at, let us say, rupees 65 or we can say rupees 60. So, there is a profit, there is an incentive for the consumer to purchase the bundle, because when the consumer will purchase the bundle, the consumer will be benefited by rupees 10, because if individual products are purchased, then the consumer will have to pay rupees 70, while when the entire bundle is purchased, the consumer will have to pay rupees 60 only. So, the consumer will be in benefit of rupees 10 and the perceived value will increase by rupees 10, while the organization or the producer will also be benefited, because simultaneously not one, not two, but 3 products will be sold. So, the volume of sales will increase definitely for the company. So, bundle pricing is very beneficial for organizations in this sense, and bundle pricing is followed by companies that make multiple products which are usually the complementary of each other. So, if a company is making both tea and coffee, or if a company is making sugar in tea, then they can sell it as a bundle. Similarly, we also observe bundle pricing in case of FMCG. Now, let me read out the second point. The second point says that the firm may choose to sell the bundled products or services only. So, the company can decide whether it has to sell it as a bundle only, or it can sell the products as components of the bundles and individual products. So, the decision has to be taken by the organization whether it has to sell the complete bundle to the consumer, or whether it has to sell the products individually also. Like out of the bundle, if the consumer asks for a particular product, then whether or not the organization will be able to sell that product to the consumer is something to be decided. So, that is about bundle pricing, and as we have discussed that it is very beneficial for the company to do bundle pricing, and it is done by the companies which actually produce more than one products which are complementary in usage. So, this was about bundle pricing, and in reality also, if we visit retail stores and if we visit online stores, then we find that there is a bundle of deodorant and talcum powder, then there is a bundle of some computer peripherals. You can have a keyboard and the mouse together. So, if the keyboard is costing rupees 150 and if the mouse is costing rupees 150, so the individual price of both together will be 300, while there can be a bundle made in which the keyboard and the mouse can be sold together, and the price that can be charged from the consumer may be rupees 260 or 270. So, the consumer would be benefited by rupees 30, and the perceived value of the bundle will be increasing by rupees 30. So, that was about bundle pricing. Now, before I wind up this lecture and before I come to the end of this lecture, let me take you through the recap of what we have covered in this lecture so far. So, we started with the slide that pricing can be tricky. Pricing can be tricky because if the firm sets a very high price, it will lose consumers, while if the firm sets a very low price, it will lose revenue. Then we talked about what pricing strategy is actually. So, pricing strategy is a model, or it is a method which is used for fixing the best price. The best price was defined as the price which is acceptable to both the producer as well as the consumer, and it helps the firm to choose the prices and to maximize the profits as well as the shareholder value. Then we came to the next slide, that why different pricing strategies are used. So, different pricing strategies are there in the place because pricing strategy actually depends on so many factors which are internal as well as the external factors, and when there is a change in the factor, the pricing strategy also changes. So, you have to the organization has to use a particular pricing strategy depending on the internal and external conditions. Then we talked about certain particular pricing strategies like value based pricing, cost plus pricing, and then it was competition based pricing, market based pricing and bundle pricing, and then we defined each of them. So, value based pricing was the one which was dependent on consumers' willingness, while when we talked about cost based pricing, it was dependent on the total cost and the price covered the total cost. Then we talked about competition based pricing, in which competition was taken into account, neither cost nor consumer. Then we talk about market based pricing, where the different markets had different prices, whether they were online offline markets or geographical markets. And then finally, we talked about bundle pricing. Bundle pricing was about selling products together. So, there was a price at which the bundle was given to the consumer, and then it was upon the organization to sell the products as a bundle or individually also. With this, I come to the end of this lecture. My email ID is ashishashish.awasthi@imscc.ac.in. Thank you so very much.